If you're a gardener who grows a lot of your own fruits and vegetables, then you know the taste of truly ripe fruit at its very best. But if you just have a couple of tomato plants off your patio, you may be wondering where you can get the rest of the vegetables and fruits that are on your grocery list this time of year. Well, you really only have to go as far as your local farmer's market. And today we want to talk about farmer's markets. You know, a lot of gardeners who end up with a surplus of produce end up giving it away to friends and so forth. But did you know that you can supplement your income by participating in a farmer's market somewhere in Oklahoma? In fact, a lot of people who get into market gardening on a large scale start off with just a surplus of produce in their backyards. Now, across Oklahoma, there are 44 farmers markets now. And this is a poster that was distributed to all the county extension offices this spring, put out by the Oklahoma Department of Agriculture, and it lists 44 of the markets, and on the back tells the locations and the contact people to get a hold of them, and tells you when produce is at its peak. So you might want to stop by and look at one of these posters at an extension office and just find out where you could go to get fresh produce. I don't think you'll have to travel very far, and really it's the very best tasting. Well, today we're at the Stillwater Farmers Market, and here we want to visit with some of the people who got started just like a lot of you might want to, and that is with growing a little produce in their backyard. And now a lot of them are full-time farmers. So let's go visit with some of them. Well, hi, Susan. It's a gorgeous morning for a farmer's market. Looks like you've got lots of customers out here.
Yes, we do. We always have a lot of them on Wednesdays and Saturdays when our market is open down here.
Well, great. Well, now a homeowner watching this, they may be seeing all this gorgeous produce and everything and wondering how they could get involved in a farmer's market.
Well, first thing of all, you've got to just grow your produce locally. It has to be from Payne County and the surrounding areas. Honey, flowers, all sorts of things like that. We also have pork available. Next thing you need to do is have a license with the Oklahoma Tax Commission, and also a license with our local association, the Payne County Fruit and Vegetable Growers Association.
Okay, and there are rules that it has to be locally grown, right?
Yes, has to be locally grown and just presented well. We've got a lot of vendors here today with an assortment of tomatoes, mushrooms, flowers, just everything.
Just you name it. What do you have for sale today?
Fresh lettuce, garlic chives, some fresh basil. The onions have been going fast. We're down to the bottom of the bucket on those.
Yeah.
And of course we have our pork for sale also, and fresh herbs.
Okay, well this is great. Well, let's give some people some tips if they want to start marketing at a farmer's market. I notice you've got an attractive setup here, as do a lot of people here. Let's just kind of go over the basics.
Okay.
Looks like you have to have this cleaned ahead of time and packaged, ready to go.
Yep.
So far as the lettuce, do you weigh it out ahead of time or let people pick through that?
Pretty much on a volume, kind of a select which ones you like the best is pretty much the way we do that.
Okay.
Have a little kale in the back also. That way somebody may like a little more romaine, someone may like a little more red leaf. That way they get a little variety like that.
That's
kind of
nice.
pick and choose.
So instead of at the grocery store where you have to buy a huge head of each thing, you can just kind of pick and choose what you want.
And we have people who are retired and they may just need a little bit.
Okay.
And that's where we're flexible. Since this is all our produce, we can say, no, it doesn't have to be in a bag this size. If you want 3 leaves, we can sell it to you like that, or 1 tomato, or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, I noticed that everything just looks at its peak, and you have the lettuce and the other leafy things in a water bath, which is, I want y'all to notice that's really helpful, because there's nothing worse than going up to what should be fresh produce and having it look wilted. That's very important. Also, you have an attractive tablecloth, and do you think that's pretty important to have an attractive background for the produce?
Well, it always helps to display it, look a little nicer, and it kind of helps the contrast of colors that show up well against the tablecloth like this.
Okay, and then you've got an attractive sign as well, and tell people where you're from. Be proud of that. You could come up with some kind of a fun name. They have Stromberg Farms, which makes sense since that's your last name, but emphasize if it's organically grown, let people know that. And I also like the fact that most everyone here has their prices posted, so you don't have to go up and ask how much something is. It's clearly posted, and I think among farmers markets, within the Farmers Market Association, usually everybody agrees ahead of time that they're not going to do a lot of price undercutting, that they'll support each other and I think have a standard, and that's important. And it's a fun atmosphere too, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got a lot of people here, local people, all a bunch of friends, and like I say, from all age groups, all walks of life, retired, working, students, You know,
of
everybody
everything.
participates in that way. It offers all our customers a tremendous amount of fresh produce that they don't have to go out and work in the garden to get.
Okay, great. Well, and we still want you to grow fresh vegetables, but this is a good way to certainly to sell your extra or to get things that you haven't grown on your own. One last thing I want to ask is a lot of these are saying that they are organically grown. And people are concerned with pesticide residues and so forth, and that is a way to end up with produce that you don't have to worry about so far as pesticide residue. I also wanted to ask, so far as timing your crop, how do you know how much to grow for the farmer's market?
Oh, you just kind of learn with years, and then you have to kind of deal with the weather and see what it gives you.
Okay.
You're just
so-
trying to learn from past experience and go with the areas that maybe other people aren't growing as much of, and kind of have your little specialty areas that we all seem to fill our niches.
Okay, so it ends up with not everybody has all tomatoes all on the same
No,
day. It looks like you have a nice mix out here.
Yeah.
How do you go about choosing the varieties? Do you just go with what you think people are going to like, or?
I like to choose a lot of different varieties, especially on the lettuces, so you can have lots of different tastes and a really pretty salad presentation.
That's right. Well, it's obviously you've succeeded at that, and we just want to encourage those of you who are interested in farmers markets to go visit several of them in your area, get some ideas on that, and possibly participate on your own. Thanks a lot, Susan.
Thank you too.